Welcome, welcome. I am so excited for today. I cannot say enough. This evening is going to be powerful. You came to the right show at the right time, and that's Monday nights at 9 at night. A little bit about 9 at night. It is every weekday night. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it's all about positive people making a difference with different subjects every night. Tonight, it's all about this speech. How many of you thought about getting your words out there to make a change with you, make a change in the world? And it happens. And this is a great time to have your beginnings and have some great coaching, as well as get your life started in public speaking. Right now, I'm so excited to introduce my co-host. He's absolutely amazing. This guy has so much energy when it comes to caring and teaching others about public speaking. He's phenomenal. And it's just, if you get a moment with Shawn, you've had a wonderful day. That's exactly what it is. And so right now I'm going to introduce my good friend and co-host, Shawn. And we'll appreciate you, Shawn. So glad that you're here. Woohoo! You're muted, darn it.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you for having me here to be a part of this lovely program. We did such an amazing job with the guests that we had previous, and even the guests that we're going to have in the future. I can't wait. I'm just excited about the lineup that we have moving forward. I'm just excited. It's Thanksgiving weekend. I'm excited. I'm ready to eat some turkey. How about you? What do you have planned?
It's it. In fact, today, I don't know if I should talk about this on air or not, but we have a small farm and we live off our farm. So today was turkey harvest day, and our largest bird was 24 pounds, 5 ounces.
All right. Well, I don't know why you say you shouldn't talk about that.
Well, it may get people kind of ew, but in the grocery store, they pick up the bird. We just get it ready for the process. And our birds are so well taken care of. They have heat lamps in the winter time. They have the best little sweet treats that they like, and they're happy birds, and we have wonderful results on harvest time.
Well, that's in Idaho. In Florida right here, like you say, we go to the grocery store and we pick our birds and we prepare the bird for the meal for the feast on Thursday, on Thanksgiving. I am so grateful for a lot of things in my life. I'm mostly grateful for my family. I'm most grateful for where I am in life. I'm so thankful. Just so thankful.
Well, and you have a lot to be grateful for. You have beautiful kids, beautiful family, and myself as well. I just love life. I love how, when we're talking about how your voice can make a difference. When you have children and they are raised with your love and with your guidance, are you kidding? They're going to go out and make the world happen. And so that's where it's really at. Right now, we're at our speaker tips. And so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. And today's tip that I'm going to be sharing with everyone is about vocal variety and why it's important. Vocal variety is very necessary in conveying your message. In fact, this past weekend, I was doing a presentation. And during this presentation, there were times where I spoke about my life in a very intimate setting. And I really had a soft voice. I drew the audience in, kind of like what I'm doing right now. You wouldn't do this in a setting where you're excited. No, that doesn't fit. You want to be very somber. You want to look straight at your audience or who you're talking to and convey your message. That's very important. Vocal variety is, I just can't stress this enough, how important vocal variety is. It's also good if I was delivering at certain points in my message over the weekend, I was excited. So I was like, scream! So I would use projection of my voice carries. And just during the course of the speech, you want to make sure that you're not just monotone, like you're speaking just one tone. You want to make your speech very engaging. You want to make it, at times, you want to make it invoke emotions. That's very important. Evoke emotions in your story when you're telling your story. That way, your audience will follow you. If you stay at one tone, your audience will not follow you. You may lose them. Make sure when you're speaking and you're telling your story, invoke emotions. So that's just a little bit about my tip. And this has been your moment with Shawn. Unmute, Christine.
I'm glad I have you, and I'm glad you have me. We remind each other. What is interesting is you were in person at this event. We do so many Zoom meetings nowadays. And tell us the difference with your on Zoom compared to in person using all that vocal variety.
And I will dive into that, Christine, because it's different. Like right now, I don't have to worry about hitting the button to mute myself at certain times, like we're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
However, when you're in person, the experience is amazing. You make that eye contact. And as I was telling my story, I was looking individuals in the eye and that eye contact. And as I was telling my story, and when I became very somber in telling my story, I said what I had to say. It was very intimate. And I could see some of the audience start to tear up as I told my story of how I went to a group home and I discovered my purpose of being a public speaker.
Wow.
It was so compelling. So the audience were tearing up and started to cry. And then I paused.
Wow. Oh, yes. If I was there, I have the tissues. I know without a doubt. I get them talking to you on the phone.
And then, Christine, I brought them back. That's your job as a speaker, to control the audience. I gave them that moment. I shared that moment with them just to give them a taste of how that felt when I discovered my passion. But then I used my voice, I raised my voice, and I brought my audience back in, because you don't want to leave your audience in that emotional state. You want to gravitate and bring your audience back. And then I started pumping them up and started explaining the roles of the journey that they're going to be fulfilling in the roles that they are doing. It was a training, and I was training them on Sergeant of Arms and Toastmasters. I brought them back. I didn't really use the slides because you don't need slides when you have lived the role.
Oh, definitely. So, and yes, you have lived it as many years as you've been, and that's why you're the master coach, and everyone should have a moment with Shawn, literally. I have some tips today too I want to share. And with that, I just gonna go right through it. You were talking about vocal variety. Well, let's talk about getting on stage and what do you wear? You know, so I have some tips. In fact, there's 10 tips, okay, that I'm going to share with you. Number one, you want to dress to feel good. You know, when you have your game on, you can have your game on. You can not worry about yourself. It's all about delivering and the people that you meet. And you want to have that, because that's exactly what's going to, where you're not worried about yourself. You're not worried if, you know, your pants too tight or you're going to rip or something like that. And then tip number two is you want to dress to look good. If you feel you look good, it's amazing how, again, you're not at all worried about anything on you, with you, or whatever. It's focused on that delivery and making that connection. So the traditional rule of thumb is that you should dress one level above your audience. In the business casual era, That's getting harder to kind of figure out. But the general principle is if your audience is wearing a sport coat, you want to wear a suit. If they're in khakis and button downs, then you put on your sport coat. It's just the presenter's privilege, but it's good to just go ahead and make sure that your wardrobe will help you project authority. You're there as a speaker, especially if you're a keynote speaker, and you need to have all representation of your place to listen to you, to make sure that they do. So tip number 3 is dress for the audience, the venue. Figuring out what to wear for a presentation used to be easy, but, and not that I'm taking away the business suits or anything, but if depending on what you are, who you're talking to, it could be college students, it could be high school students, it could be very serious Fortune 500 company CEOs. I mean, hopefully you'll get to that level to do that. But the one thing and the smart thing is to check with the organizers in advance and dress with flexibility in mind so you can change things at the last minute. If you add a tie, shed a jacket, something like that, bring your sports coat and your suit jacket. And then you want to dress your brand. Who are you? Your clothes should match who you are. And I have my whole office, I'm in my office, and my whole wall has my vision board, and I have okay, it's silly to say this, but I have pictures of the things I want to look like, people I want to look like. So I copy their little picture off from Google search, they no names, and I put my picture face over that. And it just helps me see the vision of what my branding is. I'm still in the process of really fine-tuning it, but it's never too late to start your brand. I know one gentleman, he wears these really fancy gold shoes that sparkle almost in anything, whether it's shorts or business suit, and they all know him as him because of something that stands out. It's like Shawn, a moment with Shawn. He has his hat, a moment with Shawn, and he's got a zillion of them. They all match every little piece of article of clothing that he wears, even his watch. I saw that once. So you want to avoid brand new clothes. Always road test your outfits before wearing them on stage, because standing in a spotlight in front of several hundred people, it's a bad time to find out your shirt has a tag sticking out or it bothers you when you walk. Number 6, we're almost there through them. But don't try to be hip if you're not. Be you. The latest uniform middle-aged men seems to be jeans, sport coats, and t-shirts. If you're going to try to pull this off, there's some guidelines. They'll know if it's not you, okay? It is something where you don't, you just don't want to do something that really doesn't strut your stuff. And that's where you have to definitely find your brand so you can do it. But number 7 is keep it simple. The audience main takeaway is remembering if they remembered what you wore, then you're doing it wrong. They need to remember you for how you made them feel and what you taught them. So really, simplicity is the best thing. Number 8 is wear something that holds a lavalier. And when you go to major speakers events, you'll have a clip-on microphone. That's a lavalier. And it's centered usually on your upper chest. Sometimes they clip them to the lapel, but that's bad because if you turn your head, it's going to make a noise. So you just want to have an open button-down shirt that you can just clip right in there. 2, double check the program is number 9. And it is something to where just make sure you're in it, you're at the right place. But also just make sure your headshot is the one you wanted to be in there. Sometimes if you have a couple of pictures, if they Google you and they think you would like this picture on there, and it may not be your favorite picture, maybe your worst. So you just want to double check what they're putting in the program. And 10, take off the name tag. You're there, they've announced you. You don't need to go up with your conference badge. Take it off and just do your stuff, just shine. And most of all, focus on what matters most, and that is your speech. and connecting with the audience. So that was a little bit lengthy, but it's important. It's really important. And what do you think about those tips, Shawn?
I think you hit it right on the head, Christine. And I just want to say that I'm guilty of having a name badge on this weekend at the training I did. Not really guilty. It's just, I just forgot to leave it on. But you're right. You are the highlight. You're the spotlight. You don't need to wear a name badge because the light is on you. Everybody will know who you are because you're going to be introduced. And that's the most important thing. So you don't need to reintroduce yourself. It's one time.
And what's interesting with what you said on your tips is that when I get excited, I'm a high soprano in the music world. But when I get excited, my voice goes up and gets up. I have to tone it down. Vocal variety is get something comfortable to listen to. And that's at a lower radio voice type level.
Well, one thing I want to say to you, Christine, when you start to feel yourself where you're getting excited, take a deep breath, pause, regain your chain of thought, and use your vocal variety. Because it happens in certain instances. It happens, but what works for me, like I just did, I stopped myself. I smile because you have a beautiful smile, and you just take your breath and use, instead of you can use the smile and the pause because they both work for you.
I could have flashing earrings too, right? Get them on cue. I'm teasing.
Well, you don't want to be, your smile is enough. It radiates.
I'm teasing. I knew you'd do that.
Yes. So you just want to let that smile, like that light of yours, just shine. Just pause, take a smile, and you'll settle down and then just continue on. And your vocal, that'll minimize your vocal variety.
And I appreciate that. And we all have to do a self-check. It does not matter where we're at. It's always good to be humble, to listen, to learn. And that's why I love Toastmasters. Many of us belong to Toastmasters because it's a safe place to have your checkup.
And Christine, we're always developing. That's what's the beauty part of communicating is we're always developing. And we have people that we become conscious of what we're doing. I'm just trying to open you up to that so you become mindful next time. When you do that, you'll pay attention to it, and it'll be great. And you'll see you start to minimize that as you move forward. All it is habits, and we develop certain habits. Once we become aware of those habits, we can change those habits. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen in due time.
And with these tips, we don't want to scare anybody off. We want to, are you ready? This is time for this speech. We have a very special guest speaker, and I am so excited. So I want you to be absolutely ready to get on 9 at Night and have your moment. But I'm going to introduce this wonderful woman. And Shawn, thank you for inviting her on. She's just absolutely wonderful. But her name is Suzette Johnson. She's a woman of God, a devoted wife, an awesome mother of 5 children and 2 grandchildren. She obtained registered nurse license from Palm Beach State College. Wow. And just now graduated with a doctorate in divinity. Excellent. She enjoys spending time with her family, cooking, traveling, crossword puzzles, and more recently, gardening. She aspires to leave a legacy of wealth and strength after she leaves this world for future generations. And her idol, her biggest role model, is Florence Nightingale, because Florence tended the sick and the wounded, and that's what she wants to be doing ongoing. Just like her, she intends to take her light to shine through the darkness, leading others to light. Beautiful. And so now let's welcome the beautiful Suzette Johnson. And Suzette, we are excited to have you on board here.
Good.
Let's go. Cut that camera on.
Very good. All right, we're going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for this moment. I'm thanking my source for this opportunity, you know, because I have a source where I have all this light that's emitting from me. That's where the source, that inner, that comes through to the surface in my smile and everything. So just now I noticed that you and Shawn was biting into my message about letting the light come through. And that's my message tonight, about shining this light. Does it really make sense for a man to light a candle and keep it hidden? Does it really make sense that one should have a lantern and put it under the cupboard? Does it really make sense? I don't think so. But I have struggled it through the dark times. There were times where I was surrounded by darkness. I think darkness wasn't even inside of me, because when I would open up my mouth and speak, it was dark. I wasn't able to even see my way, where I was going, what was going on. I cried plenty times. I cried. I didn't know what I was doing and even how I was going to make my way out of this. Then I found the answer. I found the answer. I latched onto the source. I learned of the source. I started ingesting the source, and the source was coming up, it's coming up. It's emitting. In my complexion, I'm getting compliments on my complexion and on my smile. And I'm at liberty to say, come, follow me. You want to see this light? You want to be this light. As a matter of fact, once you get into this light, you feel light, lightweight, light in your mind, light. So I'm commissioned at this point. And you know, nothing never happened before the time. And I oftentimes ask myself, why I'm going through this? Why I'm going through that? Oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it. But I found the answer in my purpose. Throughout all of that pressure, much like a diamond in the rough. The diamond is put through pressure and strain. But in the end, the diamond shines through all those peering away and that busting and that blasting. Now, it's for me to take my light in this dark world that we're living in, to bring forth and to say, come on. Do you want to feel light-weighted? Do you want to glow? I had the opportunity this week a young man opened the door for me as I'm going into the store. He opened the door. He was taken aback. He said, wow, you're beautiful. You're shiny. He was hitting on me. I turned to him and said, young man, you are young enough to be my son. And I'm not looking for that. But if you wanna come and follow me to the source, then I will show you. Then he quickly admitted, oh, I'm a praise and worship leader at this so and so and so. I would like to invite you to church. I said, oh, I didn't call him too bad, but I convicted him. And I was understanding that he was taken aback by my beauty, which is emitting from the inside out. And this is my purpose. Now I understand why I went through all that I went through. Now I see. Now my eyes are open to my purpose in coming forth through all this and that I can stand and shine light. You know, well, it's my time to shine. This is my time to shine. And I'm not holding back because it's my time to shine. Thank you guys for listening to my speech.
Unmute, Christine. I know you're speaking. You can leave your video on, Suzette.
Yeah, Suzette, we want to speak with you. You're amazing.
It's
I
your
love
time.
that. That was, and I loved the fact of inside out focus. And you brought that up. I think that's powerful. What about you, Shawn? Wasn't she awesome?
She was amazing. Let me just say that when you use your vocal variety, because that was my tip of the day, Suzette, you projected out. There were times as you were projecting out, I was sitting just shaking in my chair. I'm just sitting here like, whoa, okay. Because I could understand. You spoke clear. It wasn't all over the place. The best thing I like that you did when you turned the light on, you put us in that setting. You made it intimate. You spoke softly. It was very appropriate for that moment. You drawed us in because I was like, oh, she cut the light off. Okay, what is this? And then you brought the candle. And you let your light shine. And you emphasized that. And you emphasized that. In fact, you said light, lightweight in the midst of darkness. But the emotional one that I caught when you were using your vocal variety was, I would have took a pause, a little longer pause, when you said, I cried plenty of time. Just leave it there. Then you pick it up. You want to pick it back up. Because you want to let that sink in. I cried plenty of times. We've all cried. That's something that connects and resonates with all of us. We've all been in a dark place. Thank you for illuminating and bringing that light out. I want to say one other thing. I would title this speech, This Little Light of Mine.
Oh, very good. There you go. That's excellent. Coach Shawn in action here. There is something I wanted to share with you, Suzette. You are so inspiring. I have a favorite quote from that about Shawn, and it's from the movie Coach Carter. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but I just want to read it. It's not very long. It's just a quote that was in the movie. And this gentleman just decided he wanted to change his ways for the good and get on this basketball team again. And he said, "Our deepest fear is not what that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others." You have demonstrated that in your entire speech, and I want to say bravo.
I'm excited. I do know it's your time, Suzette. And that's what this 9 at Night is about. We want you to be courageous. We want you to become uncomfortable because you're presenting with the tips that Christine spoke about this evening. I was looking and observing. The red is very appropriate. You stood right in the center. You, besides moving to use your props, other than that, you look professional. You were right in the center of the screen. I can tell that you were ready for this moment, and you did shine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would stand, grow a few inches taller, as good as you did tonight. If I was you, I would just say, yep, yep.
She spoke about her beauty, like her presence, just what you spoke about, Christine, like showing up, what to dress, how to appear and present yourself. She presented herself in a professional setting tonight. She's smiling. If you look at her, she hasn't stopped smiling. You can see that light is radiating through. She's feeling confident. She's feeling really good about herself and her message. And that's what you're supposed to do as a speaker.
Well, and not only that, she's pretty prepared to give it. I believe you when you say, "It's my time. It's my time." Are you kidding? This is like one of those moments. If you were in a big room with a lot of people, the next thing would be, stand up. This is your time. Let's make it our time together. Take that action and stand up. And I'll tell you, you'll have a movement going. You're powerful.
Well, if you look on the back of my hat and you look right here, it says Shawn time.
And on the front of the moment with Shawn, just in case you missed the backside.
Yeah, this is our time. This is our time, guys.
Yeah, it is.
And just thanks for that little piece of segment where I can shine. I can begin. Toastmaster is that tool. I realized that Toastmaster, because while I sat down to write the speech, I realized what was holding me down all this time. Why I was unable to express myself. It was deep-seated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where all the insecurities came from. And just coming to Toastmaster, each time I come is like, a rusted piece of metal that's rusted. And every time I come, it's shaving down. That rust keep. And then my shine is coming out. My shine is coming out from all that rust. My voice, I've been asking for boldness. And with that came a whirlwind of emotion. Mm-hmm. Yes. A whirlwind of emotion, because I found out that I was masking all of that with a big old Band-Aid. Mm-hmm. And I choose to take that Band-Aid off. And all that tears is like a pussy wound that needed to get drained out so that the healing could begin. And here I am now. I am commissioned for the brokenhearted, for the broken down, the abused. This is where I come in now to speak life.
Excellent. And it shows you're not just saying the words, you are that. You really are one and the same. And that's incredible.
What
It's
you can
easy.
do with this, what you can do with this speech, Suzette, and tie a personal story to this speech. Take us on a journey. Use the same information that you have in your message, but I would want to see a personal speech. Like I would want to see something. I want you to speak about something very intimate in this speech to build this speech. In fact, if you do that, I think this is an international speech contest speech that you could enter in at the club level and possibly move on to the area level.
Now, the one thing in tow is that it's only 5 to 7 minutes for the international. How can you get it all in? So, Shawn, what would you say with that?
By the way, how long did I speak tonight? Because you know something? I just decided I'm gonna ditch the notes. I want to be like Pablo and all y'all. In fact, you know what? I've been knowing that I'm a storyteller a long time.
Very good.
I'm animated. I tell stories to my friends, you know?
Very
so
good.
Why should I have a problem telling my stories? I should be natural. I want to ditch the notes because this is my story.
Yeah, there you go.
And no one knows your story better than you. But there's a way to tell your story, and that is key. It's just a way to tell your story.
Yes.
And once you put that with what you have, this is going to be amazing. And that's where coaching comes into play.
And you do that so well too. I just love it. Well, I just want to say thank you so very much, Suzette. We can't wait until you have it refined, and then with your personal story, then we want you to come back and share it again. We'll help you.
That's right.
Thank you. Because thank you.
Presenting is the overall speech. You have to present it, and the way you present it, it's like, for example, when someone comes into the hospital and they have a wound, not everybody is going to care for that wound like you are. You're trained. You're experienced at this here. You know how to assess that patient from the time they enter the door with whatever type of wound it is. And that's what speaking.
Yeah. So there she is, Miss Suzette Johnson.
Look at her.
Shine. There you go. Thank you so much.
Oh, you know, before we leave, the most profound statement was made to me by my patient's wife. She looked at me one day, she said, I bet your smile could heal. She looked me in my eyes and she said to me, I bet your smile could heal. I went away thinking, wow, that's what she thought about me. That's what she thinks about me, that my smile could very well heal people.
Well, and it's like the smile is the window to the soul. So that's how you're sharing your inside out. I like that. I believe in inside out. That's the way to go with that. Well, Suzette, thank you so very much. We sure do appreciate you always.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. And I'm just going to encourage everybody. Are you all ready to be a speaker and to get up on the stage here on 9 at Night podcast? Shawn, I have a couple of questions here for you. And this is on your nonprofit. Let's talk about the movement that you're doing here with MFL.
Thank you, Christine. And yes, it's motivating future leaders. This is a youth enrichment program where I train youth on how to publicly speak. That's right. It's a 10-week program. There are 10 principles that I train these individuals in. And the takeaway is they can apply these life skills that they're going to learn in this program and incorporate it in their life and to help them become future leaders. This is an amazing program that I'm so excited about. I just love sharing. In fact, I had a young lady that I met this weekend, and right now kids have so many gifts and no one's really calling out their gifts. I decided to call out her gift. She's a prolific creative writer, and her mother didn't even know that. She said, but my daughter got many gifts. She didn't take the time to understand that her daughter's passion is writing. I discovered that. I communicated that back to her mom. I'll be working with her in the future because I told her, not only do you have a passion for writing, but I believe in my heart, wholehearted, you're going to be a speaker, because she has this smile that just illuminates you, and she's very introvert, and I want to tap into that and make her extrovert. But that's what this program has done for many youth, and I've helped a lot of you. So this program is great for our community. It's here in Broward County. I look for supporters, and I'm also looking for volunteers as well. I can be reached.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can be reached at 954-818-2299.
That is excellent. And I'm going to repeat that because it's important to get the number out. Now, we're going to be finishing a website for this program, so we'll be able to give that out too. But the number is 954-818-2299. Just remember 9 at night, so it ends in 2 9s, right? 2299, whatever. And I'm excited for this, and I can't wait to see the progress with this wonderful, wonderful program. Shawn, I always enjoy our time that we have here with 9 at Night together. And I just want to say thanks so much for all that you do to help make it happen, the wonderful speakers that you bring on, and the ones that I'm able to bring on. So it's a good team, don't you think?
We are, and I have a slew of speakers in line. So don't worry, we have a slew coming. I have them from all different backgrounds. We will be bringing them on, and we will have them present as well.
I'm excited. That is exciting. Well, again, Shawn, thank you so very much. We sure do appreciate your time. And we're at the end of our hour. It has just been absolutely thrilling to have each one of those that are attending, everybody that's been on here. Thank you, big time, Suzette. I'm going to call her Miss Florence Nightingale because she definitely is that. But it's this time. We'll see you on the next 9 at Night, or on the next It's All About the Speech. And have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Same to you guys.